You want to double your business. At the rate you're growing right now, that's not a 2-year plan, it's a 5-year plan, if it happens at all. And somewhere out there, a competitor just grew twice as fast as you by doing something that you haven't even considered yet. You're doing everything the playbook tells you. More ad spend, more outbound, maybe a new hire in sales, and the return keeps shrinking. Customer acquisition costs climb every quarter. You're working harder for growth that used to come easier, and you can feel the ceiling getting closer, not further away. Hiring isn't the answer either, not on its own. Good people take months to find, longer to train, and even longer before they're actually adding to the bottom line, rather than costing you time to manage. You don't have a people problem, you have a speed problem. Everything about organic growth is slow, and slow is expensive when you are paying for it in years. Meanwhile, somewhere in your market, a competitor with less experience than you, less of a track record than you, is growing faster. Not because they're better, but because they've worked out something that you haven't. Growth doesn't have to be built one customer at a time. Play this forward 3 years. Same revenue band you're in now, same headcount headaches, same ad spend, eating margin for diminishing returns, and the business next door, the one that you could have absorbed 3 years ago, has now absorbed 2 other competitors and is the one buyers, staff, and customers all want to be near. The market consolidates with or without you. The only question is which side of that you actually end up on. Here's the shift. Instead of fighting for every new customer, what if you bought a business? One that already has the customers, the revenue, and the team, and folded it straight into what you've already built. That's not hypothetical. That's how a huge amount of fast growth actually happens. It's just rarely talked about outside boardrooms. Picture what that unlocks. Instant revenue and an instant customer base. Not a pipeline that you have to nurture for 6 months, but paying customers from day one on completion. A trained team that already know how to do the job, dropping straight into your operation instead of a 6-month hiring and onboarding process. Market share that doesn't just come to you, it comes from a competitor, which means one less business that you are fighting every new customer against. The ability to apply your existing playbook, your systems, your pricing, your efficiencies, to a business that has never had them, unlocking margin that wasn't there before. Now picture 18 months from now. Your business has grown through 1 or 2 acquisitions that would have taken 5 years of grinding organically. You're not just bigger, you're more valuable, because buyers and investors pay a premium for businesses that have proven they can grow and integrate, not just tread water. You've gone from fighting for scraps of market share to being the one that other people are trying to keep up with. That's the version of growth acquisition makes possible. The one that compresses years into months. Every unit of organic growth, a new customer, a new hire, a new territory, takes time. And time is the one thing that you cannot buy back. An acquisition collapses that timeline. You're not adding customers one inquiry at a time. You're adding an entire book of them on completion day. What would have taken years of marketing spend and sales cycles becomes a single structured transaction. Growth stops being a slow accumulation and becomes a decision. This is the part most owners miss. Buying a competitor isn't just additive, it's subtractive too. Every customer, every contract, every team member you acquire is one less thing a rival has to compete with you over. You're not just growing your slice of the pie. You're shrinking the number of people fighting you for it. That's a double benefit organic growth just can't deliver on. You can't outmarket your way into removing a competitor from the field. Most businesses that get acquired weren't underperforming because the market didn't want them. They were underperforming because the owner didn't have your systems, your pricing discipline, or your operational playbook. When you bolt that business onto what you've already built, you're not just adding their revenue. You're unlocking margin and efficiency that never existed under the previous owner. The acquisition is worth more to you than it ever was to them because you already know how to run it properly. Neil had spent years trying to grow a business in the training field, with growth stuck year on year. Instead of pouring more into marketing, they acquired a smaller competitor using a mix of upfront capital from an investor and seller finance. With only a little bit. No, they didn't do that. They acquired a smaller competitor using a very small portion of capital from their existing business and the rest paid off using seller finance, instantly adding $500,000 of revenue to their top line. Growth that would have taken years, and it happened in one transaction. If you're growing your business the slow way, more spend, more hires, more hours, and the ceiling keeps getting closer, it might be time to ask a different question. Not how do I grow faster organically, but what could I acquire that already has what I'm trying to build? This is exactly what we cover inside the Business Buying Blueprint. How existing business owners use acquisition to grow faster than organic growth could ever allow them. How to find the right bolt-on target, and how to structure the deal so it works for you. The link's in the description. Book a call and let's map out what buying a target competitor could look like for you.